Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Tesoro and I do lifestyle videos. Today we're going to be talking about self-care, self-love, and healing. I will just be going through the stuff that has been working for me during my healing girl era because I was kind of put into it. I was forced into that one, and I had to figure out my own stuff and figure out exactly what I needed to do to make things a little easier for myself. So if that interests you, let's just get into it. First thing that I want to talk about is discipline and routine. Now, I didn't think that this would be something that would actually come up for me because I just came out of being in a college environment, school, and everything that school gave me was routine. You know, you wake up, you have to be at a class at a certain time, you have to do homework at a certain time. I crave that, which is crazy to think about, but it's always about the grass being greener on the other side. So the easiest way to implement routine, it could be having a morning routine, starting your morning off with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, reading a book, separating your day in certain chunks so that it's a lot easier to manage. You don't feel like you're just doing nothing with your day. You're just implementing a lot of different things to have a sense of routine and to have something to look forward to and something to do during that time. It makes me feel like I'm doing something and it makes me feel productive. Another big thing that's really helpful has been journaling, or in this case, doing these videos has been very helpful for me. Video journaling or physically writing and journaling. It's so good to just write about your life and write about what's stressing you out, write about the stuff that's making you happy. Journaling kind of forces people to sit within themselves and really figure out where they're at mentally and emotionally, and it's beautiful. Journaling or video journaling or podcasting, whatever works for you, use it as you're talking to your best friend or ranting. Having that there is really useful. Another thing that I've been doing a lot of is knitting, actually. I kind of pick up hobbies here and there. I just do it. I've always been that person, and I always oh my gosh, this is the new thing, this is that. I've done embroidery, knitting, crocheting. I kind of come in and out with these things, but during this process and during my surgeries, I noticed that I always come back to crocheting or knitting, just to spend my hours knitting and putting my energy into something that I want to complete has been really incredible. So I've already completed one blanket, and now I'm working on a baby blanket for a family member of mine. If you guys are interested in picking up crocheting, knitting, go on YouTube. I learned all my stuff through YouTube. It's a lot of fun and it takes your mind off of a lot of things. Either listening to music has been a huge help, as well as writing music and working on music with other people has been really fun. So Afrobeat has been what I've been mainly listening to and enjoying and loving. Music, hobbies, any crafts, do stuff that you feel understood by, or certain activities that make you feel happy. I think those things are incredible for this journey of yours. Meditation. I go in and out with meditation. It's been very interesting. But every time I come back into my meditation flow, it's really helpful sitting there and being with my breath, being with my body. Sometimes I meditate to meditation music or just healing frequencies and stuff like that, but other times I feel more in a guided meditation mood. So I put a guided meditation and I lay there, and it takes you to a different place and it lets you relax and really be one with yourself. Great thing about meditation too is that it makes everything feel more intentional. It makes the day feel more intentional. So either starting with meditation, ending your day with meditation, or just doing both. Whatever floats your boat. It's definitely been a useful tool for me to go back to meditation and really sit with myself. This one is gonna kind of sound a little silly, but I'm just gonna throw it out there anyways because it's been extremely helpful for me, is getting dressed up. Guys, I don't dress up to go outside. I dress up to go to my living room. You don't think that stuff like you getting dressed, you getting ready, putting on a cute outfit, doing your hair in a different style, putting on makeup and getting all pretty, you don't think that it's gonna be helpful, but at least for me, I love it. I play my music and I just sit there and laugh, I dance, you know, I move a little. You just need something to lift your spirits. In the process of trying to record this video, I was doing that exact same thing. I had gotten cute, gotten ready, done something like that in like a week or so, and getting back into it and just being in my element. I don't know, like it's so cute. That's one of the things that have been helping me, or that I've noticed that has lifted up my mood, just getting ready for the day, even though I'm getting ready to get in my living room. Reading. Guys, I go in and out of my reading grind. Like, I'm either reading thousands of pages or barely anything at all. It just depends on where I'm at. Having reading implemented has been a lot of fun. Specifically, I've been rereading some of my childhood favorites, such as the Percy Jackson series. I read it when I was really young and I was obsessed with this series. Coming back to it with a different mindset and at a different age, it's just been beautiful. So I have two different categories for reading. Fun reading, in this case, like stuff that you're very much interested in. So for me, I love a lot of fantasy, romance kind of novels, action filled, otherworldly kind of things. I'm a huge Sarah J Maas fan, so oh my gosh, I've read every single book that she's put out, and I'm still waiting for the next one. I like that kind of stuff for my fun reading. And then I have self-growth reading, so with books such as Atomic Habits, like 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think, things like that, or The Mountain Is You. Reading books that really help you within, and especially being 20, like I'm still learning a bunch of stuff, and reading books that can help me with this process has been extremely helpful. Reading for fun and reading for self-growth has just been the best. Another thing that's been very prominent throughout this process is working with my thoughts and with my emotions and with my states, my self states. Being home, being cooped up, figuring out what to do with your time. It gives you a lot of space to work inward. That can be hard. A lot of things come up, a lot of emotions come up. Healing is not linear, guys. That's the biggest thing that I've learned throughout this thing. I could be my happiest throughout the week, and then the next day I am like bawling my eyes out. It's gonna be up and down all over the place. You can't expect yourself to just keep going up and up and up and up and up. Understanding that and working inward, I've been trying to meditate, journal on that narrative that you're putting on yourself. If it's a lot more negative than positive, try to come at it with a lot of compassion and with a lot of grace. I mean, we go through so much as human beings. The worst thing that we can do for ourselves is be our worst enemy. As hard as it is, like my self-talk is very negative. Being in this position where I can't get out of my head, it forces you to kind of work on that. So I've been trying to be as compassionate by noticing that voice, breathing through that, and using logic as well to be like, hey, I might feel this way and these emotions might be taking over me right now, but in reality, this is what's actually happening, and working through that. But working on your inner voice and being graceful and compassionate to yourself. It's the hardest thing and the best thing that you can do. Something external that I've been doing is cleaning my space. So this has been extra tough for me because I used to be on the walker and now I'm moving around in crutches. I have to ask for a lot of help from my family members, from my friends. There's just like a bunch of things that I can't physically do. So it's a little harder to like pick up and do different things by myself. Something that has lifted up my mood is just keeping my space clean and trying to make sure that everything is in order, especially now that I'm just home all the time. It can be tough to be in a space of like zen and focus when everything is just all over the place. And my default is to just leave everything everywhere. But I've noticed that I thrive better in clean spaces. I love being in the space, just feeling lighter. Just cleaning your room can help get out of your head and be happy and heal. Healing starts from within, and you can also help yourself by making sure that outside as well is reflecting what's going on inside. Boundaries. You wouldn't think that this would be something that could be a part of the healing journey, but it really is. Even if you're setting boundaries with yourself or other friendships or family members, whatever it may be, noticing when you are feeling uncomfortable with certain actions or certain things and really setting boundaries to assist you through this process. A lot of people like to say a bunch of different things. You figuring out what situations and what circumstances you want to be in and what stuff that you don't want to be surrounded by is really important for your healing journey. Healing is uncomfortable. The process is extremely uncomfortable. To limit the amount of things that are making you uncomfortable will help you in the long run. So in this case, if it's to just not be hanging around with certain people, or maybe having a boundary with the stuff that you consume, or maybe you just speak to someone and say, hey, the way that you spoke to me made me feel horrible. I would love it if we can shift that. Setting boundaries with other people or with yourself to make this process easier is the best thing that you can do for this process. My last thing that I want to suggest is to keep in touch with your people. The people that you go to when you are at your worst. You know, in this case, like my inner circle for me are like my boyfriend, my best friends, my sisters, my family. Throughout this process, I've had my family here, but my other people have all been in school. Keeping in touch with them has been one of my biggest helpers throughout this process. Just figuring out what they're doing, making sure that those relationships are still growing while I am healing and growing on my own. Yeah, I call them all the time, sobbing and just being in a safe space to just talk to them. Like, it's been extremely helpful, and I highly recommend that for your healing process. Even though it is all your work and for you, having people that can assist you with that is always helpful. And I feel more like myself after spending time with friends and feeling understood by people. If you can have those people around you in any sort of way, or calling them every once in a while, make sure that you're focusing on those relationships. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please comment below and let me know what is working and what isn't working. I would love to hear from you guys, and thank you so much for sending me all that love in my other video. Please check that one out. It was a very fascinating journey, and I would love for you guys to see that and see what that process was like. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next Sunday for another video.